Welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm Rosa.
And I'm still Sharon.
Thank each and every one of you all for tuning in once again to join us. We solely appreciate you
Mm-hmm.
all. Every week we just want to bring you something new, and we thank you for tuning in to watch that and for sharing videos with your friends and for subscribing. And again, if you like what you see at the end of this video, please continue to share. Each week we bring to you all different topics, and we appreciate you all tuning in, watching it,
Mm-hmm.
sharing it with your friends, commenting. We enjoy it all. We thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, before we get into today's topic, you know I gotta do my shout outs. So I'm gonna shout out to some of our subscribers. One is Lady Day One Day.
Wow.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you for just tuning in and
Mm-hmm.
subscribing to our channel. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Without you, we cannot grow. And
Mm-hmm.
I would like to give a shout out to Two Grown Productions Unlimited. Thank you as well
Mm-hmm.
for being one of our subscribers, as well as we subscribing to your show. And last and not least, Miss Layla. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I love reading the comments, and we thank you. We try to get back to everyone within 24 hours if possible, but
yeah,
they're well thought out, and they're interesting, and they're diverse,
yeah,
and they're all welcomed.
yeah.
So thank you.
And
So
some of
keep them
y'all
coming.
funny though. Some
Oh
of y'all
yeah.
funny. We appreciate people who really just touch our hearts
Mm-hmm.
with their comments, and
Right.
yeah.
And some of y'all got jokes.
Oh, big time, big time. But we'll get to y'all a little later.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is today's topic?
Oh.
Today's topic. You want me to say it or you want to say it?
No, you can say it. It's a little heavy today. It's a little
Yeah,
heavy.
definitely. And I mean, we as I need to make a disclaimer because one, we're definitely not professionals in any way. But we know a little bit about a little bit, so we're gonna bring
No,
that to
we know a
you.
little bit about a lot of
Yeah, you
things.
know what I'm saying. Well, I know a little bit about a little bit. Just need to know a little bit. And most of the times, I think in the black culture, hard conversations. Sometimes we have to, put a little spin, jokey joke on them, just so that it makes it a little easier for people to
Digest
digest.
it.
So,
Yes, yes. Well said.
so
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna bring this topic to you all today, and definitely we don't make light of it at any point. Although we may joke in between, but that's to help us as well, and to
Yeah.
make it lighter for those
Right,
who
right,
may be going through it, and
right. But they say
trying
a
to come out
spoonful
of
of
it.
sugar makes the medicine go down.
Absolutely,
And so you're
absolutely.
right. We do joke a little bit, but but as Rose said, what we're going to talk about today, it's a little heavy, and but it's so very real, and it doesn't just affect the black community. And we're talking about all our sisters out there,
Absolutely.
all our lesbian sisters, and of course here in lesbian land. So we're going to be talking about physical abuse
Absolutely.
in our community. Physical abuse.
Yes.
It is
And it happens so often than you realize.
it's a silent epidemic. It's the thing that's going on that people don't want to talk about. It's the thing that we see, but sometimes we say it's none of our business, or I heard about it, but I didn't think it was true. Some of these people are living their lives in pain, some of them in shame, anger, denial. If you just take a second and just think about your friends, your buddies, your road dogs, your exes, all of us know somebody, some woman who's being abused physically.
If it's not yourself, or you being the abuser. So
Yeah, yeah, we're out there. Right now, I think the divorce rate is it's up to about almost 50% in the general population. As they narrow it down a little bit, ours is over 30%. Um, why is that? We're as human as everyone else. We go through the same madness, tragedies, difficulties, all of that. We have problems paying our mortgage, raising our kids, stuff at the job. We are just as involved. What
absolutely.
makes us a little different is the fact that we have come out, or we've chosen to identify as lesbians. So what makes us different? Several things. When you have decided to come out and live your life without men, knowing that you are self-identified lesbian, you're living and having one-on-one relationships with women, not thinking about it,
Right.
doing it.
Right,
So we're saying if you're living and breathing and you're in this world and you're a woman of color or just one of our lesbian sisters, some abuse is going on as we speak with our sisters.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, as I said, I led in with it saying it's a silent epidemic, and it is. So how can something so horrible, so nasty, how even tragic, how can this be going on in our community and we don't do something about it? Right. If you're even aware enough to say, yeah, I know it does exist, but what are we doing about it?
Exactly.
There's 4 things that usually exist in our lesbian community for it to promote itself. You have to believe that lesbians don't have those problems. People say, oh, well, he beats his wife up, like every other payday. Well, we don't do that because we're women. It's not so.
Right.
There are some abusive relationships out there. One of you who are listening to our voices this morning may know of it or be living in it right now. Yeah. You may be an abuser. You may be, the part on the receiving part. So you got to, so I'm saying, invite yourself to think about this. If you believe that it doesn't happen in the lesbian community, you're wrong. Mm-hmm. If you don't think it happens in the black lesbian community, you're very wrong. Mm-hmm.
Ask Sharyn, she been in some abusive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see this makeup covering up my eye?
Oh, don't. That's not even. That's not even funny. Heterosexual women are living the problem, and so are we. Some of us as lesbians too. Yeah. Also go ahead, huh?
Yeah, and I think too, we sometimes feel that. In the beginning, when little things are happening, you kind of dismiss them and kind of sweep those under the rugs, and that's when I think we need to be more aware of where this could lead, because I definitely have been in a relationship where a woman was a little abusive.
Little.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it's like the small things and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Mm-hmm. I mean, she didn't hit me per se, but a lot of things that she did towards me, like, push me or hold me from leaving, going out the door. And that's, abuse in a sense. And when you're in the relationship, you don't really see that. And then you're thinking, oh, well, she was just trying to stop me because she didn't want me to break up, or we were having an argument, or she didn't want me to leave, or whatever it was, when I look back on it, and, and I'm like, I'm wearing a scar today from, her holding me so tight that her nails, went in my arm. And so it's, so
it's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's definitely real. And I think had we, going on with the relationship longer, it could have gotten worse, because those are the little signs. Those are little signs to say something else could be marinating behind this. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't staying long to see that show.
Right.
But I think, we get into our minds that it's just that small thing, whereas it could lead to something. And that's what happens, because it's like a test. For me, it's like my teenagers testing me on something. They want to see how I'm going to react. So
how
the
far
next time, they go a little further.
Yes.
So it's almost like the abuse. They just want to see how you're going to react. And the next time, instead of her pushing me, she might, haul off and hit me.
Or throw something at you. Or
absolutely.
So let me ask the question.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship where, okay, not even about a relationship, if you've had a relationship or if you're just out here in life, if a person hits you one time, do you think it's going to happen again, yes or no? This is not a quiz. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Because if you tolerated that, will you tolerate the next level and the next level? Oh, she only does that when she's had too much to drink. Do we need to work on another problem here? Okay, exactly. You need to sober up, because you hit me one more time. We're not going to take the scenic route to this shit's not working. We're going to be right there in the heart of things.
Right.
Okay, so let's not take that scenic route. Name it and claim it.
Absolutely.
And as we're talking about this morning, because it is real and it's going on as we speak, I want you all to take the responsibility to help somebody if you see them in that situation.
Yes.
Now, look, I know how we are. It ain't my look. I don't want to get up in their business.
And I'm a lot like that too. I just do not like prying in people's business. But my thing is, if they ask me for help, I'm gonna do all that I can to help them. I don't know if I can insert myself in somebody's, because you never know the situation.
Not the real situation. You only know what you
So,
see, and you
it's
wasn't
hard.
supposed to see that.
Yeah, so
right?
it's definitely hard for me. You know, I have friends who will assert themselves. You know, if you bought the wrong, carton of eggs, they gonna say something to you. They're not even dating you. They gonna say something to the person you date.
Wait, I will insert myself.
Yeah,
and I'll first say, hey, look, talk me down, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all look like y'all going through some rough handling with each other, or does she always do that to you?
Yeah.
Is that did you really walk into a wall, or did she hit you? Mm-hmm. Because see, there's dare I even say the word, but shame is still attached to it.
Yeah.
You are ashamed that you're allowing this to happen. You're ashamed that you allowed this. You saw yourself to get in a situation. You may or may not be looking for a way out, because I've seen people who are there. They stay there for the prizes on Friday night.
Yeah.
Well, she takes good care of me. She just bought me a new Beamer. And she's got a child that I'm really attached to. But she's she's popping you upside your head like it's New Year's Eve, and I don't understand that. Right. I will insert myself. Right. You're going to have to tell me, Sharyn, this is none of your business, because I would say, girl, what's up with that? Mm-hmm. I know what it looked like to me, and I'm not even looking. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, Rosa says she's not an inserter. I'm the inserter.
Yeah, but when you insert yourself, you try to help that one person, and then at the end, they stay together, and now neither one of them like you.
Right. You know what? We know that scenario plays itself out.
It breaks up a friendship. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
but if it's gotten
I
that
didn't like
far,
how she was acting when we were going through, and blah 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 blah, and you don't be hanging with her anymore, and blah blah blah.
That happens too.
You get to it. For me, inserting myself, and I don't think the person is ready to receive that, mm-hmm. then I normally just won't say anything. If they mm-hmm. come to me, it's on. It's on. If I got to show up with a U-Haul and pack up their stuff for them, it's on. I'm helping them.
Well, I hear what you're saying, and look, it's not an easy scenario to be in for any of the parties. Mm-hmm. Whether the relationship you're in, and your sweetie is say knocking you upside your head, hanging you up like a frame. Mm-hmm. No, that's not love. That's really not. That is abuse. So heterosexual women find themselves in a situation, but oftentimes so do lesbians.
Yes.
And to drill down a little further, black lesbians.
Yes.
Sometimes find themselves in an abusive relationship. So let's say you were. Whether you were white, or brown, or black, or any shade in between, if a heterosexual woman finds herself in an abusive relationship and goes for help, and let's say she finds it, it seems, statistically speaking, it's easier for her to get help than the lesbian. Well, why is that?
Yeah,
because,
why is that?
Well, because along with the shame is also the fact that some people don't think they'll be believed. So if a lesbian is being beaten up or just in a highly, highly abusive relationship, is she going to go get help and say, hey, I'm gay, my partner's beating me up, can you help me? So now you got to deal with the possibility of the gay stigma, mm-hmm. the lesbian. I thought all you guys were from Munchkin land, and I can't believe that lesbians are beating each other up. It happens.
They just think lesbians is having sex all day long.
Right. So number two, if you're a black lesbian and you're in a abusive relationship, you're dealing with the possibility of the shame. You're mm-hmm. dealing with the possibility, the shame and the stigma, mm-hmm. but also racism. Yes. So now I got to tell you I'm gay. Hey, I'm a lesbian. I'm getting beat up every third Friday. And OG, can you help me? Well, white girls do that. We don't do that. Oh, we do that too. We do that too. So it's a lot more at stake, if you will, for us, and there's a lot more things to navigate. Mm-hmm. All right, for us to go and say, hey, and then not to mention that culturally, how we are, my sisters. We're strong women.
Absolutely.
We're groomed to be strong. We are. How many of us going to
I
say
think we
that
put
we're
on that persona sometimes because
sure?
I mean, we are strong individuals, but we can't be strong in everything, in every aspect. So
Yes.
sometimes it's okay to break down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I just can't handle, when I've had enough, I just start backing away from stuff. I'll start taking stuff off my plate. I don't care whose feelings is hurt. I don't care what doesn't get done. Last week was an example. I'm taking this class, this humor class.
Yeah.
And there's nothing funny about it, just so y'all
Believe
know.
me. Yeah.
So anyway, every Friday we have a project due, and I just had too much on my plate last week, and just didn't feel like I'm just gonna have to take an L on this one because to stress myself out for what? You know what I'm saying? I'm not, trying to obtain too much more from the class than what I'm trying to get.
Right.
So,
Right.
But you just have to start taking stuff off of your plate.
You're removing the stresses.
Because
you're removing them.
that's kind of right. That's kind of how you try to stay strong for what you need to stay strong for. Because everything is not I need to be Superwoman case. Some things you just need to just back away from. And I think when Sharon says that we are strong individuals, we are, but we don't have to be, and it's okay
all the
not
time
to be.
Right. Right.
It's okay not to be.
So my sisters, my black sisters, sometimes you find yourself in a situation that's it's too big for you to handle. Another reason that some of us, I would say, sometimes we listen to our own bad publicity or false publicity is when you have an abusive relationship, it's not always the butch. How about that? Because there's some real dramatic, some seriously
absolutely
unbalanced people out there who ain't butch, and they're beating up on their partner, whether she's butch or another femme or whatever the combination may be. So yeah, it ain't always the the butch. All right, to be mindful of that. I think this is a good time to remind everyone of the national hotline for abuse, for women abuse is 1-800-799-7233. And I'm asking all of us to take the responsibility to help somebody. Absolutely. Because, we're not pulling these numbers out of the sky. I'm telling you that all of us know somebody who's in a less than positive, nurturing, loving relationship. Yeah. So,
and even if that person is not telling you that they are, you see some stuff that doesn't line up.
The actions.
Yeah, the actions. Some stuff doesn't line up. So, maybe just pull them to the side just to ask if they are okay. Because, sometimes that's okay too, and as long as that person is okay with you, and depending on where it's coming from and how you deliver it, I think most people will be okay with you. You just asking them if they're okay.
Right. And you're just coming from a place of concern. Yeah, absolutely. All right. And like I say, take the responsibility to help somebody. And just by looking at this video, it's going to make you maybe scratch your head a little bit today. Like, yeah, I've seen some stuff going down in some people's relationship. And look, and I know it's a sensitive subject. I know, like, first of all, that ain't my business. I don't tell you how to run your stuff. I get that. But, abuse is abuse. And you wouldn't stand by and let a child be abused.
Right.
You
exactly.
Wouldn't. You know what I mean? This person just
don't allow your friend to do that. And,
absolutely.
Yeah, and you may be in a great loving relationship, and it doesn't mean that it's going to cause anything in your relationship to just help somebody out. Now unless your partner don't like them, that's a whole other story. But yeah, I mean, everybody deserves love, and everybody deserves to be happy.
Right.
And if you can do anything to insert yourself to do that, then do so. I'm just not going to, go to someone and be like, girl, what's up? What's going on?
Yeah.
But if she came to me and said, girl, this is what's going on, I'm definitely,
right.
like I said,
and I understand that. Yeah. And I know this is ultra.
Sharon's
personal.
just nosy. She be in people's business.
Well, no, and seriously, is that how you see it?
Not really, but really. You know what I'm saying?
No,
she does come from her heart is big as I don't know what. But my whole thing is, why ask people what's going on? Because now it puts another thing on your plate to even help. If people want help, they're going to ask. But sometimes people, try to hide stuff from, making it obvious. So even if you say something, then they may think like, okay, maybe I'm not hiding it. Maybe everybody can see it, and you know, it might be more of an open discussion. But yeah, but Sharyn does come from a good place, and she always checks in on people. Always checks in on people. So that's one of the things that I love about her. But you know, what happens when you checking in on somebody and then they give
Tell you
you
their
all
story.
of this?
Yeah. Well, you're gonna
So what are you gonna do with that information? And that's what I'm saying. It puts
and
other
maybe
stuff
you're
on your
not the
plate.
person to, you know, say, hey, I can't undo all that for you or unpack your madness, you know, but I can help you get some help. You know what I mean? Sometimes people, when they share with you their problems, more or less what's really going on in the house when no one else is, you know, around, they're letting you know for a reason. And if you're not the person to help them, put them in touch with someone who can. It's simple as that, you know. And statistically, people who are in abusive relationship, specifically physically abusive relationship, chances are this is not their first one.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever have a friend like that, or a buddy, someone you know of? It's like, well, didn't the last woman bust you in the eye? Well, now this one hit you in the other eye. I mean, like, what? How is it that you are the magnet for every hostile, angry relationship?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, I thought you guys were on the right road. I thought y'all had fallen in love with each other, and here it is, like, well, she beats me.
Exactly.
You know, she beats me, and
But
no one
sometimes,
knows.
as you said, sometimes we need to take our own temperature and
Yes.
figure out why we are that person. You know, Sharyn, you know, we'll have discussions from time to time, and we'll say something about, you know, maybe a mutual person we know, and I'll be like, Sharyn, it's probably them. Because when she starts telling me all of the other stuff, and I'm like, it can't be everybody they dated. It might be
Right,
them.
it might be them.
And sometimes, you know, we need to at least come and have that conversation.
Right, consider
with
that
our
possibility.
friends, yeah, and say, girl, you might want to look at you. You know what I'm saying? Those are the hard conversations that we have, and you know, depending on who's the mature one, it could go all the way to the left. But
So-
you got to be willing to be okay with that.
Absolutely. So we thrown our way around this term abuse. What does abuse look like? Well, how is it even defined? And we're talking about when someone is abusing you, that they have the power to influence or control your behavior, your beliefs, your conduct, and they have to be close enough in your world to affect that. I mean, if someone, you know, you ain't seen them in 8 years and they live on the other side of town, they can't bother you because they're not in your world. But when the abuser is your partner, that's the person, they call it, I think the term is your intimate partner. Someone who, we don't just have meals together, honey. Sometimes
We waking up with
you are the meal. You know?
so crazy.
Bad girl. No, but seriously, you know, sometimes you are the abuser, and or you're living with someone who is the abuser. So sometimes people are in denial to the point of to the extent of which a person has control over them or influence. What happens with you in a situation where the abuser is also the moneymaker, the primary moneymaker? Well, I gotta stay because I can't afford to live this lifestyle without her. So you're gonna get your ass whooped every Friday night just to stay there in the condo? I don't get it. I'm being dramatic, but you understand what I'm saying. You know, sometimes we think we really can't go. Oh, if I go, she's going to tell my family. She's going to out me at the job. She's going to tell my friends. And, you know, it's nothing worse than a woman scorned. I don't care if you're straight or 18 degrees into the gay world. You're still a woman. You know, and nobody wants to get their program messed up.
Exactly.
Or somebody, you know, or put you on blast about what really went down in the relationship. Right. So those are ways, those are little, it's like a petri dish that's just, you know, it's grooming it, it's developing it. It's a harsh bacteria, you know, that comes into your relationship that makes you think that it's okay just because you're paying the bills. It's okay that that you hit me when you get out of control with your anger.
Right.
You know, and then on top of that, which we really didn't want to touch too much today because we're doing that on another program, is that when alcohol is involved.
Absolutely.
So oftentimes, you know, when you have the physical abuse, there's also drug and alcohol abuse.
Well,
but
most of the time it goes hand in hand.
Yeah,
So-
but right now
Sometimes you may have the most loving partner until she gets drunk.
Yeah, and then you start making excuses for her. And
Absolutely.
I know a buddy of mine, she, you know, basically, she, you know, call you in the middle of the night. For me, that's anytime after 10 p.m. Oh my God, why are you calling me at the liquor? Everybody knows I'm in the bed by 8:30, 8:45. Well, in any event, She was like, oh, she's beating me up again, or I'm scared of her and this and that. And what happened, the girl literally, her partner threw her down the steps. Threw her down the steps backwards. So, she got jacked up. That's Rosa's favorite word. She got jacked up. So when I did come see about it, but so now she's all, and I'm thinking, what does this person have to do to you intentionally for you to wake up and realize you're in a very abusive relationship? And as
to
Rosa
throw
said,
anything,
yeah,
not even a person down the stairs.
and
It's kind of a harsh thing.
Truly, she could have broken her neck, but she didn't. But she got messed up,
Wow.
the arms, the legs, so she walking around, So it usually gets worse.
Yeah.
So as we live in lesbian land, and we're keeping it real for you because we are real and staying, authentic. This is it's an unnecessary and ugly plague in our community. It's not talked about enough, and when it is talked about, when we do talk about it, we don't assign that conversation to action. And because we can always divorce ourselves in the conversation. Well, girl, I don't get in people's business. That's on her. Well, she'll do anything just to have the new car. Whatever. Dismissing
That's
it. Ouch.
That's what I'm saying. Because half the time, it's so true. It don't matter what you say. That person is not going to leave them. And it's like, I'm just not, some stuff you just know.
Yeah.
Some people just learn the hard way. Everybody is not, easy to just influence, because if they have it good in their mind outside of being hit, then it's definitely going to be hard. And then if you don't know where that person's coming from too, because it depends on what is a great relationship, what their definition of a great relationship is, and that may be it,
right? Because
they might have grown up seeing their mama get hit. Okay, but my dad provided for us. We had the biggest house on the block. We had, we went on vacations. So if their mother went, it gets murky. That's all I'm saying.
It really does. And it's like why your mother wearing sunglasses in October?
Because
somebody
and no sun is
her.
out, right? Exactly. So I get it, and we are like, kind of that in between is like, what do you do? Because sometimes you don't even know what to do, because it can get murky, and then you got to be okay with how the friendship is going to be on the other end once all of this is over. Will you still be friends, or will you not? It just gets so murky.
It does.
I'd rather just
I didn't say it was an easy situation, and surely not positive, but what friend would stand by and watch another friend keep re-entering into the danger zone,
right?
And because like you said, as Rosa said, she doesn't usually insert herself. So what we're saying, there is a silent epidemic going on, and it is violent, and it is nasty, and it has come upon us. We just don't talk about it enough. But like I said, I bet you everyone knows somebody who's getting bopped. And I remember when Rose and I first got together, and I asked her, I said, what's the deal breaker for you? What is something that you would not accept from me or anybody else? And she said, Sharon, you better not ever hit me.
Yeah, well,
and I'm like,
hold
on, go ahead.
I grew up in, with my biological mother, just a very abusive, situations. Every time, boyfriend comes, somebody fighting, uncle, somebody fighting.
It's like a weekly thing.
I just remember seeing all that, and it's like, I will not grow up and have all of that chaos in my household. And hitting is just a big thing for me. And, somebody, unless you're defending yourself, there's no reason for somebody to hit you. Period.
Well, my statement to her, my comment to her, look, I'm afraid she might hurt me, And remember, I'm older. It's elder abuse. Right. Don't make me call the cops. Don't make me.
Don't get me wrong. I'll swing if I need to.
Oh, in
but
self-defense.
I would have to need to.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm over here eating my Cheerios, and somebody just slaps you, for something that happened at the club last night.
Absolutely. But know that also, abuse come in different forms too.
Yes.
Not just being hit, mental abuse,
Sexual abuse.
sexual abuse.
It's if you're having sex with a person. There's sometimes we will have sex with our partner to pacify them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let me go and do this because if not, she's gonna be getting mad. She's gonna be mad at something else. Or if she's rough with you and you don't give her permission to do those other 3 games or whatever.
Right,
But
right.
Sexual abuse is definitely part of the landscape as well. So what do we do? What do we do? Do we talk about it first? Do we identify it? Are we trying to out
Well, I think
everybody?
that's the first step. I mean, if you can talk to your partner about it, I think that's the number one thing, because there's nothing more upsetting to a partner to be the last one to find out what you're really upset about. So definitely, because they may be like, oh, okay, I didn't see it that way. I just thought you wanted to play those games in bed,
Yeah.
So,
but they hurt. Yeah, they hurt.
Or whatever it may be. So definitely got to start with the conversation. And then, if you start with the conversation and they pop off mad about it or whatever it may be, then, I think you need to look at other resources and go that route.
Well, back to my sisters. I'm talking to black women right now. Here
Definitely.
it is. My question is, we know it exists, and you've been exposed to it or know someone who has, and hopefully you haven't been a victim of it yourself. Why is it so difficult for us as black women to say that we're hurting and that we need help?
Well, you said that earlier. We feel like we are like the superwoman.
No, yeah, but
we don't have to be, and it's okay.
But people say if you know better, you'll do better. You know what I mean, and not necessarily so, because we say we feel trapped. Well, one, if who are you going to call if you got hurt? Do you call your family? Oh, well, my family's not supportive of my relationship. Do you turn to God? Oh, I've been mad at God since 1978, or whatever the excuse is, or whatever. Why is it so hard for us to go in? And like I said, we're dealing with, hey, will they believe me? Now you know my business. Will you believe me?
Yeah.
Can you help me? And where do I go from here? Because 1, 2, 3, red light. If it was you, the victim, the victim of the scenario, who would you call?
Yeah.
Who would you call?
Be Ghostbusters.
Sir, that's the question. And then they have this. There's a thing called horizontal hostility, and that happens when it's like when you have black on black crime, or straight people not supporting gay people to the point that they could, because one, I'm mad that you even exist. 2, I can't help you and you deserve everything you're getting because you live in a lifestyle that's not congruent with, oh, hey, stop. My question is, who you gonna call if you got hurt, or if you're in a very negative and a very abusive relationship? And it's just a question. Right. All your answers should be different, because we're different people in different scenarios.
Yes.
And there's no fear here. Whatever would go on with Rosa and I'm not worrying about her hitting me, and she ain't worrying about me hitting her.
Right.
Okay, that, as Rosa said, that ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? She said, no, it's
my Aunt Karen says that ain't gonna happen.
One other little element I wanted to share with you before we let you go, and that is the average gay woman, if you were to get married, we get married usually a little older, by like 39, which is, the average, the national average for straight folks is like 34, 35. So usually, we're a little older when we do get married. You don't have to be as old as me. I was 61. I was 61 when I got married to Rosa.
She was old. Now she older.
Oh, look, I'm older, but I'm still quite capable, and we'll leave that there. Okay, yeah. Quite capable. So, you made me lose my train of thought. But in any event, so as we are older partners, when we do get married, and like I said, the divorce rate is already up there. Over 30%. The older you wait to get married, the longer you wait, or postpone marriage if that's your goal. But the longer you wait, the chances are you'll marry someone younger than yourself, but your chances of having a happy relationship is less. So when I'm looking at me and Rosa, and the fact there's the larger the gap in age, the more the chances are against you of y'all having a happy, harmonious, lifelong relationship. So the odds. So I say that to say, because there's more than 10 or 15 years between Rosa and I, and that I didn't get married till I was 61. Okay. It don't look so good. So, but the thing is, we're aware of that, and I think we try harder. And all I'm saying is, statistically, it's an uphill climb. But I'm not married to that statistic. I'm married to the wonderful Rosa, and I think we both are very, very. We have healthy, realistic expectations. Or I think what last month she ordered a pair of roller skates, only one pair, because she know ain't no way in the world I'm putting this on a pair of roller skates. Look, cause all I can see is myself falling. Like, did Rosa tell you to get on the roller skates? What, you don't have to do everything Rosa asked you to do. I know, but I love her. So that ain't.
I knew she wasn't skating, so I got me a pair. Been skating, enjoying it,
And I love to see her enjoy herself, but I'm not going to skate with you. I'm not going to do what's the thing, the high hand glider thing. I'm not jumping off Torrey Pines hills or nothing like. I'm not going hiking into a forest that I can't even. No, I'm just not doing it, because all I can say, we're gonna get lost, and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die because she wanted to go hiking.
She being way dramatic.
Yeah, just to make the point. But let us not lose our theme today. It is abuse in our community. And what are we doing about it? Are we even talking about it? Are we recognizing it? Or is there someone in your life that's going through a very bad scenario that could use your help? And if you can't help them, send them to someone who can.
Absolutely.
But we have to be honest about it and accept the fact it does happen. It happens way too often, and it's not being talked about. We are closeted with our own pain.
Yes.
Okay, we're closeted about it, and we don't have to be. Yeah. If you in that situation, as we're talking this morning, you know who you are. We're wishing you the best. We're sending out high prayers for you to just to free yourself, because love doesn't have to be so painful. So I think that's a good place to jump off for this week. I know it's not a happy, feel good subject, but it does need to it warrants attention.
It needs to be addressed.
Okay, yes. So until next time, we're wishing you the very best
of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke, and we'll be praying for you. Thank you.